Hey, it's Yash, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 4 lessons from the book Atomic Habits written by James Clear. The 4 lessons are how to build good habits and how to break bad ones, the 2-minute rule, the importance our environment plays when it comes to habit building, and how to make them stick. Lesson number 1, how to build good habits and how to break bad ones. James Clear lists out in his book that there are 4 key rules in order to build a good habit. First, you need to make it obvious, you need to make it easy, you need to make it attractive, and you need to make it satisfying. If you can follow those 4 simple rules when it comes to any type of habit building or any new habit you're trying to build, you're more likely than not, you're going to be able to stay on with that habit. For example, let's say one of your habits is to read. You can make it easy, or you can make it obvious that you want to read by having your book next to your nightstand or having your book on your desk instead of on your bookshelf. And you can make it attractive or make it satisfying by every time you get done reading, you can have a piece of candy or something to reward yourself for doing that task of reading. And you can also make it easy by tracking your goals or tracking, like having a system to track how much you're reading. An example of how to break a bad habit, let's say if you're trying to build or trying to break a bad habit of playing video games, one thing you can do is that after you get done with the video game session is that you can unplug your console after you get done playing it. By doing that, you're making it unattractive because you're creating friction. By the next time you want to play, you have to re-plug in your console, and just that small amount of friction can cause you not to want to play video games anymore. This jumps us to lesson number 2, which is the 2-minute rule. James Clear states that whenever you start a new habit, you're more likely to follow it for the first couple days because you have that extra motivation and that extra burst of energy. But after that, you'll soon find yourself unmotivated, or you'll soon find yourself lacking energy to go perform the certain tasks that you need to perform in order to build that habit. But James Clear has a easy or sort of easy way to combat that, which is called the 2-minute rule. And the 2-minute rule is basically that whatever task you're trying to perform, whether it's going to the gym, reading, you will perform it for at least 2 minutes, and then after those 2 minutes you can simply call it a day, or you can continue doing the task after that. And the reason this is so helpful and so successful for anybody that's followed it is because by implementing the 2-minute rule into your daily habit or into the habits that you're trying to build, you're essentially creating the foundation of the person that you are trying to become. So let's say, for example, that you want to go to the gym, and you find yourself unmotivated to go to the gym. If you simply give yourself the 2-minute rule that, hey, I'm just going to show up to the gym and I'm just going to go there for 2 minutes, just do something for 2 minutes and then leave. Yeah, in the beginning, it might seem a little pointless, but you'll soon start finding yourself that each time you go, you might start increasing the amount of time you go, and then sooner or later you might just say, hey, I'm already here, I might as well just complete the workout. And that's essentially what's been going on with me when it comes to me building a gym habit, because I've always tried to build a gym habit. This is something that I've struggled with for such a long time, and one of the biggest problems that I've had is that I would go to the gym for the first couple weeks, get super motivated, and then after that I would just basically show up every now and again, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, and I didn't know how much that was hurting when it came to building a good, consistent gym habit. But now that I've read this book, I've slowly started to implement the 2-minute rule, whether that is actually getting my butt to the gym or just simply completing some sort of workout, whether that's push-ups, sit-ups, something at home for at least 2 minutes. That way I'm just building that, that motivation, or I'm building that persona that I'm someone that goes to the gym consistently and gets a workout in no matter what's going on in their day. And that's been a game changer for building the gym habit, which is the 2-minute rule. Lesson number 3, the importance our environment plays when it comes to habit building. Have you ever tried to build a reading habit in the same place that you play your video games or watch your movies? More often than not, you're most likely going to fall back on playing video games or watching movies in that same room or in that same environment. That's just because, what James Clear says in the book, it's because our brains are programmed, or already have been programmed, to view certain rooms to perform certain activities. So that's why when you go on your bed, you're more likely to doze off and fall asleep, because your brain has programmed the bed as a place to sleep. But let's say if you're just sitting on your work couch or your work chair, you're more likely than not you're not going to go to sleep, because that's not what your brain is programmed to do. And Clear says that one of the easiest ways to form new habits or to break old ones is to simply change your environment, whether that is getting a new room or finding a new place to do those certain activities. So let's say if you wanted to build a reading habit, one of the ways you could theoretically do it is by getting an entirely new room that's dedicated just solely for reading or any type of work-related work. And by doing that, you're simply programming your brain that whenever you enter X room, you're going to be performing Y activity. And let's say that you don't have the means to get a new room, which more likely than not, most of us don't. I surely don't. So one thing that you can do is by manipulating some aspects of your current environment to help foster the growth of your new habit. So for, let's say, for example, you're trying to build the reading habit in the same room you play your video games. One thing you could do is you could simply unplug your console, pack it away, or just simply unplugging it. Thus, by unplugging it, you're kind of creating that friction, so that way you're only forced to do that certain habit, which is reading. Lesson number 4, how to make your habit stick. If you follow the other previous 3 lessons, you're more likely putting yourself in a really good position to be in a successful path of building that good habit. But in order for that to stick, in order for it to stay for a very long time, you need something to kind of track your progress and track the progress of your habits. James Clear says in the book, or he gave one example in the book where he had a salesman came into the branch and he had 2 bins every time he came onto his desk. One bin was filled completely with paper clips and the other bin was completely empty. And each time he made a sales call, he actually took one of the paper clips out and put it in the empty bin. And by the end of the day, he filled up the empty bin with all those same paper clips. And he saw that after the year of just straight doing this every time, just putting the paper clips after he made a sales call, he ended up becoming the top performing salesman at the branch. So James Clear says that any way you can use to track your progress, whether that is a full-blown, habit tracking system off a program, or just simply moving some paper clips into another bin, or just marking an X on your calendar. I've done this by the fact that whenever I get done with the gym, I have an Apple Notes page on my iPhone that I use to track all my workouts. I track, it's like a workout log. I track my workouts of like how much I'm lifting, the reps I'm doing, the maxes I've done. And each time I go to the gym, I try my best to maybe exceed that or get to the certain level or the same level that I've hit before. And that kind of just motivates me to keep going, because I'm seeing the progress daily by seeing my numbers go up, seeing my reps go up, seeing the amount of weight I can lift. So anything you can do to track your habits, simple or complex, is going to help you maintain the type of good progress you want to make in terms of building more and better habits. That's it. Those are the 4 important lessons from Atomic Habits written by James Clear. There are definitely a lot more lessons within the book, but for me, those 4 were the main sticking points when it came to actually reading it, and those are the ones that stuck with me. However, if you've read the book, or if you have any of your own lessons that have helped you in terms of building better habits or successfully tracking them, I'd love to hear them down in the comments section below. Once again, thank you for listening and watching this video.